Hey guys, Rock Music Lover 93 here.
And Seagriff.
And in the last video, probably in my update video, thought I was not gonna be staying, it's like because we're gonna be away to go to the aquarium, which unfortunately it's gonna cancel due to the rain.
Being an adult can really suck.
Yeah, so like I said in the update video, definitely have a video of how Matt and I got into rock music.
Ah.
So, I'll start with Matt for how he got into rock music.
So most of the music that Seagriff used to listen to, I used to be very ashamed of listening to when I used to listen to Radio Disney.
Really? Radio Disney?
And they played some rock, and then my mom got me a Smash Mouth CD.
Ah. So, Smash Mouth is the first rock band you listened to, correct?
Yes. And my stepsister said I shouldn't listen to that crap.
Which she has no right to, tell, sorry if I can talk. She has no right to tell you not to listen to.
Yes. And then I started listening to Rob Zombie and Hearts.
Now, how old are you when you started listening to Smash Mouth?
I think like 9 or 10.
Oh, yeah, so you're a kid back then. So, if I remember...
I couldn't listen to it before because I had to go to a wedding on Halloween.
If I remember correctly, what you told me, just, probably around, a few months ago, you told me that, before you got into rock music, you listened to, pop music when you were, in your early age, correct?
Yes.
Which pop music back then?
The Backstreet Boys, Aaron Carter, and there's another song. Oh shit. Baha Men.
Which also known hit song "Who Let the Dogs Out," which I definitely remembered in childhood. This is pop music that used to be good back then, back in the 90s.
And I used to listen to No Doubt besides everything else.
No Doubt. It starts. Do you actually listen to No Doubt just right after you listen to Smash Mouth?
I think so. That was right after I listened to Smash Mouth.
Because No Doubt is basically considered a rock band.
Yes.
And some of the early stuff, it starts as ska punk, like when Gwen Stefani, Spiderwebs is considered a ska punk song.
Yes.
Yeah. And then just right at, so it starts as a rock band. I think Smash Mouth is considered. I'm not really sure which rock genre is considered, but then you also listen to punk bands such as
The Ramones, and I also listened to Johnny Cash besides everything else.
So the Ramones started later age, or probably around. I'm not sure how old when you started. Oh, you're 12 years old when you.
And from seeing the Jack Black movie School of Rock, I listened to Led Zeppelin and The Doors and Light My Fire.
Yeah, so that's
And that one song that goes, and the one song that goes, I can't get rid of you.
So which is considered classic rock, which definitely I think in your started when you're a teenager, you started listening to classic rock just right after you listened to start listening to punk rock music when you're 12.
Yes.
Then you listening to early punk rock bands besides Ramones. You listen to Green Day, Blink-182, Simple Plan when you're 12.
I was actually when I was 13 and 14.
Yeah, just started in your early teens.
Yes.
And then it comes, I think, high school. You started listening to classic rock, or also known as rock and roll, correct?
Yes, the Beatles, the Stones, the Kings, and Jimi Hendrix.
So you're around like 15, 16 years old or something when you started listening to them?
Yes.
Started get to like the classics or even the oldies.
And also All Time Low I used to like.
So how old are you when you started becoming a fan of All Time Low?
About 17, I think.
Yeah, this is definitely in the later stuff because All Time Low is, back then when when you're in high school, they were like new back then.
Yeah, well,
But now they're old. Like it's been, they think they've been around since 2007 or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, your picture, I'm coming with you,
Dear Maria, count me in. Yes, that was my favorite All Time Low song. I wish the teens or the college kids would react to All Time Low because I haven't seen the Fine Brothers reacting to bands that we love recently.
And also, I've been a fan of the band's Warped Tour albums from a long time now.
Ah, yes. And when ever since?
Since 2008, I think.
Yes. So, when you start getting to classic rock, is that where you get to, like, watching the movie, School of Rock, or and other classic rock bands, do you get it from your mom, your dad, or?
Mostly my guitar teacher.
Basically from your guitar teacher, ever since you started your lesson, right?
Tom, yes.
Yeah, which is 9 years now.
Yeah.
Wow. Been a long time, so that's how you get into like the classics. Not just classic rock, also oldies as well.
Yes.
Which is definitely also real pop music when it's be like this back then.
Yes.
So I think it's basically the story of how Matt got into rock music.
What do I do? What do I do now? Will I scour the internet I scour Apple Music for other rock bands these days?
Oh yeah, basically there's some like rock bands that he added to basically from Tony Hawk games.
And sometimes I download albums when I'm feeling stressed because being an adult can really suck.
It's true.
God, how did I
yes.
get up this? Oh God, how did I end up this way? Being an adult really sucks.
I don't know if heavy metal's counted as really related to about rock music. I don't know if it's really related or is it different.
Bare Metallica sucks.
I know it's considered heavy metal, so it's Guns N' Roses, which I wear right now.
Actually, I have listened to that when I was a little bit younger. I also listened to No More Fate too.
Faith No More.
Faith No More. Sorry, I can't pronounce them sometimes. I have pronunciation.
Well, it's not the pronunciation. You just got it backwards. Yeah. So, if I just unrelated stuff, how old are you if you start listening to like heavy metal?
I would say, I think 17 probably.
Okay, so it's basically, I think you start off with the rock and before the metal.
And then emo core.
Yeah, which such as
Save the Day, and Take Back Sunday.
Take Back Sunday is definitely a good emo band, which they've been.
And Bayside, and My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance is considered emo, so is All Time Low.
That's okay. And Anarchy Trio.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to like.
Alkaline
Yeah, I
Trio.
used to like the song. Yeah, I used to like the song "Stupid Kid."
Alkaline Trio is definitely a good punk band that's definitely good enough for guitar. Stupid Kid, because it's definitely a fun song. And oh yeah, I know there's another band considered emo, Fall Out Boy.
Yes.
Which we definitely glad we saw them this year.
Yes.
Yeah, so I totally
Sure, but
forgot.
I have gone into Against the Current recently.
Which they're pop rock, basically. So I think it's basically what he's what's Matt's talking about, like how he got into rock music. Okay, let's see. All right, now I'll start with myself. How I got into rock music. Well, it starts off when I was about probably 4 or 5 years old. I started listening to the Beatles. It's when my dad plays the guitar, he's singing me Beatles songs on his guitar. And yeah, I was a child back then and then when I was watching some TV, like when my mom watches like Beatles movies, and I just took a look at I think later at the age of probably 10 years old, when I just go onto my mom's computer and looking at her iTunes, she has some Beatles songs and other classic rock bands that I got into iTunes, and this is how I got into becoming a fan of the Beatles. And actually, I think right before the iTunes, my cousin's also a fan of the Beatles, and they still have like Beatles one album. But I do have Hard Day's Night and the other albums that I've listened to when it's based on, or even based on a movie, or when it's not on a movie. So I think this is how I got becoming a fan of the Beatles, and I jumped right in when I get to like Oldies stuff, like when I was about 13 or 14, then going, or even after I turned 14, I started getting into Oldies. Actually, just before the Oldies, or to like rock, old rock music, like in the 70s, 80s, or whatever, like 60s. When I was like a younger kid, like around 9 years old, when I just heard watching music choice, I started getting into punk rock music. Like my first punk rock music I listened to, I was like later age, I think, I'm not sure, 8 years old or something. I started listening to Green Day when my sister has it in her room when she listens to it. However, then all of a sudden I just when I just got to like other bands such as Blink 182 just right after Green Day, but I also listened to Simple Plan and also Bowling for Soup, and also yeah, there's more that I remembered throughout my childhood. Basically, Simple Plan that I remembered. Just just because I'm on the show, especially in the show What's New Scooby Doo, Simple Plan did the theme song. That's how I started recognizing Simple Plan, just because of What's New Scooby Doo. Now I get to the later age when I was like 14 years old. I'm just moving on. Besides like listening to the Beatles, I also got into the Rolling Stones. And I forgot to say, when I looked at my mom's iTunes, now I realize, now I just getting listened to is Queen and also Led Zeppelin, which I'm now definitely a huge fan of Led Zeppelin. I think I should go for like more Led Zeppelin songs that I would play on the guitar in the future. I just gotta want to continue to do some punk music that I got on my guitar.
I know how to do the harmonics from Dazed and Confused.
Ah.
I actually know how to do the bass from Dazed and Confused.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's another classic rock that you and I forgot to mention that I started listening to even when I was like really young. Pink Floyd. Gotta love Pink Floyd. And my first Pink Floyd song that I ever listened to when I was on my mom's radio is Now and Then. I think it is. Then I listened to The Wall. Mine
was actually Money.
Money's definitely good. I had that on my playlist.
Or We Don't Need No Education I used to listen to.
It's also known as the title The Wall. Education is part of the lyrics of the song. It's called The Wall.
When I was, 17, 18.
When you started listening to Pink Floyd?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I asked by the football team that year.
Yeah, anyway, there's also more oldies that I've listened to and I really got into. Especially like just some rock music back in the 60s besides the Rolling Stones. I also like the Kinks, like you mentioned. Also known as British Invasion, like Jerry and the Pacemakers. Um, what else? The Searchers, the Zombies.
From the movie Pirate Radio, I got into Judy in Disguise.
Yeah, that's definitely a 60s song. And another British Invasion that I remembered and I like to listen to it, the Dave Clark 5.
Yes.
What's your favorite Dave Clark 5 song, Matt?
Which one's the one that goes, "So glad you made it"?
Glad All Over. Or, isn't it Over and Over? Or, Bits and Pieces?
Is the one that goes, "This place is hot, so glad you made it." Give me some lovin'.
It's Spence. I think the Spencer, something group. Give me some lovin'. I think it's, I forgot that. I gotta look it up as until I get it added to the text in the editing. So, alright, I get that idea, and I wouldn't forget the other rock band in the 60s that I also loved is the Beach Boys.
Yes. My personal experience would have to be the album that I absolutely love is Pet Sounds.
And you know what my favorite...
I want to make love to this Pet Sounds album. I want to sleep with this Pet Sounds album. I love this Pet Sounds album.
That was definitely my favorite album as well. And I think had one of my favorite Beach Boys songs, which is Good Vibrations.
Yes.
What was your favorite Beach Boys song, Matt?
God Only Knows What I'd Be Without You, and there's one other one. Mostly in my 20s, I listened to God Gave the Radio, but which is one of their newer hits. Mike Love and Brian Wilson probably hate each other by now.
When I watched in the interview from the Beach Boys back in the 60s, they're very kind back then. But also, I think when I looked at the interview, they were like kind of shy.
Yeah, that's where the drugs comes in.
But they're old now, of course. But there were two. I think two of the Beach Boys members died. I think 2 of them, I believe.
I believe one died from drugs.
Carl Wilson died.
Yes.
But Mike Love and Brian Wilson, I think they're still doing. I think I'm not really sure.
It's in Love and. If you ever watch the documentary Love and Mercy, you would like it, Sam.
Okay, I'll check it out later. And I wouldn't forget the oldies. I also liked is what Matt also likes is Mamas and the Papas.
Yes. All the leaves are brown.
California Dreaming is definitely my favorite. It's definitely a hit. But I also like others besides California Dreaming. Like, I saw her again last night.
I like Monday.
That was definitely... love that song, too. And Dream a Little Dream, that was with Cass Elliot. She's really young when she died.
Yeah.
Michelle Phillips is the only one.
Also to their enormous wealth from the song California Dreaming.
You did play it on one of the videos. It's definitely, I would definitely do it as a classic favorite.
Which sometimes I actually, this is back when I was in Devonshire, I actually played the song on the scat bus when I was driving.
Yes.
It had to be like late fall or early September, or early August I played that. All the leaves are brown.
Yeah, this is definitely a best hit song. So, I think that's basically it, how I got into, rock music. So yeah, subscribe to Matt. I would also put it in the description, because he rocks.
You rock Seagriff out loud.
Yes.
In the words of Denny Phantom.
Yes. This is Rock Music Lover 93 signing out.
And Seagriff out.